Welcome back, everyone. The Dow about 22 points. What's going to be interesting is when we start getting the dribs and drabs of what the president could announce tomorrow night in his State of the Union speech in Washington. Now, there are a lot of things that are happening in the background here, including 11 days to go, 10 days tomorrow, before a conference committee has to cobble together something to meet the president's demands for funding for a wall and the Democrats' demands, led by Nancy Pelosi, for not a dollar for the wall. Now, there might be a battle of semantics over here, how to get both sides on board, or the president might go ahead and telegraph that he would call a state of emergency to go ahead and get that wall or part of that wall built. But again, to do that at a State of the Union when you still have a number of days left to put something together might be a jump on things. Who knows better what to expect? It's sort of like the broad outline of what a president like this one could say in what will be a pretty divided Congress. Historian Doug Wead. Doug, good to have you.
Thank you, Neil. Good to be with you.
Now, he probably wouldn't, that is the president, go ahead and say, I'm going to declare an emergency. It would make a mockery of the conference committee. But he certainly is sending out all those smoke signals. What do you think?
I think I probably wouldn't guess what Donald Trump may do because he's not a traditional politician. That's what makes him fun to watch, and can be unpredictable, so who knows? And he loves these addresses. His first 2017 speech to the joint session had a 76% approval rating. His second one in 2018 State of the Union address had a 75% approval rating. That's a lot better than just the 48% approval rating among the American public. So it's something he wants to do.
And, you were reminding me that even with the president's struggling poll numbers in the aggregate, I mean, when you look into them, I mean, they really haven't moved around that much. But Congresses are worse. Democrats are worse. Now, he will be the focus, and he will have Nancy Pelosi right behind him if he spends an inordinate amount of time talking about a wall. And then what? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, and, Nancy Pelosi's going to be an interesting face to watch. The Democrats, there's a reason why she canceled the State of the Union address. The first time around, he was so generous in passing the torch around the gallery and talking about others, and the Democrats had strict rules, don't clap, don't react. That kind of backfired because he would use that to promote things to their own constituency, things for African Americans, for Hispanics. And they sat there stone-faced. So the second time around, Nancy said, okay, you can applaud at some things, and it looked real uncoordinated, some tepid applause, others enthusiastic, others stone-faced.
Right.
So I think it's why she canceled it. I'm told they've got their own ideas this time, the Democrats, by bringing into the gallery some of their own visitors, and they're going to count on their allies in the national media to call attention to those people and tell their stories.
Yeah, I think Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is bringing the woman who confronted Senator Jeff Flake at the time of the Kavanaugh hearing. So they're each bringing someone who espouses their view. You had reminded me, and I'd forgotten it, but I want to tip my hat to you. I don't wear a hat because my head's so big, but if I did have one, I would tip it to you. And one of the things you said is that don't expect the president, when there was this debate over delaying his State of the Union speech, to hold it at another venue, because there's nothing quite like this venue in the well of the House. Both parties there, Joint Chiefs of Staff there, who's who power crowd. That's where you want to be, huh?
Yeah, that's right. It's very interesting. I was actually in the Oval Office in the middle of that whole debate when the vice president walked in and said to the president, the Senate is behind you. We'll do whatever you want. And Donald Trump said, no, we're going to postpone it. We're going to postpone it. They were willing to go to another venue, but no, he knew, just as you just said, he knew this is the venue. This is the historic place. This is what gives him leverage. And that's the reason Nancy Pelosi is fighting him every step of the way, trying to block it from happening.
So he had turned down my idea that he do it like at an Olive Garden or an IHOP. You're probably right that he stick with the well of the House. All right, Doug Wead, thank you, my friend, very, very much.
Thanks, Neil.